Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to look at a topic I get asked quite a lot, and that is the topic of pyramiding. In other words, what happens when you have an existing trade setup. Here we had a perfectly valid MTPredictor TS3 automatic buy setup at this low. STF is black, so the trend's neutral, so all MTPredictor customers can take this. So here you are already in a trade. Let's have to put the analysis on and see what the position is. So you're already in a trade, but the market then gives you a second setup. Again, this is valid. STF is blue, trend is up. So the question being is, if you're already in one trade and you get a second setup that's in the original trade direction, what can you do about it? Well, first let's just have a quick look at this first trade setup. Again, it's a perfectly valid and standard automatic trade setup in the STF direction color. Market comes in. We get our position sizing here automatically placed on our chart for us. As you saw, all I had to do was hover over the blue buy bar, right mouse click, place analysis, and this is placed on the chart for you. Remember, we use position sizing to keep our losses small when losses come through. As with any trading strategy, there always will be losses, but the point is the losses are kept small, and we do this by use of position sizing, where we vary the number of lots, contracts or shares, that's our position, to keep our risk the same percentage on each initial trade. So in this particular example, it would have been long 8 contracts. Market went up, went to our first target. There's our profit target that was projected in advance at the time of this TS3 setup. So at the time of that setup, that target would have been on the screen for you. STF is what we call weak, in other words less than our strength band, therefore you'd come out at that target. And as you can see, that basically nailed the high of the day. So it was a very, very nice place to come out and take profits on that trade. But the important point is the profit here was 4 times. This is our risk reward ratio here. In other words, a profit of 4 times the initial risk. So in other words, this profit could have financed 4 other losing trades. And that's the important thing with trading, is you need to have a strategy where the losses are kept small and under control and the profits are large when they come through. Okay, so the first trade here we've already seen is a very good trade with a very nice plus 4R profit. So what happens when you're in a trade? You're long from 775 at this level here. Market comes back down and takes you into another trade here. Again, the position sizing takes over. In this case, it would have been long 11 contracts, again to keep the position small or the initial risk small and under control. And as such, if there was a losing trade, it would be kept small at -1R. In this case, the first target was at this level for a potential 2.1R. Now, what I will say, and this is really only for expert traders, I don't suggest any amateur traders or anyone new to MTPredictor or who are unsure about trading ever consider pyramiding. Pyramiding or adding to your existing position should only be done by expert traders who are comfortable and okay with this kind of thing. But the golden rule is, when you take another position, or if you want to even consider taking another position in the same direction, in other words pyramiding to your existing position, you must always bring your stop on your first position to break even. So in other words, let's assume this trade was failed, came down, it would have stopped you out for -1R. You do not want the situation that the market would have gone all the way down and stopped you out on this initial trade for a -1R as well. So if you had your stop on your first position at break even, which would be this level here, you would have been stopped out for break even on your first trade and only -1R on your second trade. In other words, you consider this a campaign. So you never want to lose more than -1R on your campaign. So that's the golden rule. On a second position, pyramiding, always bring your stop to break even on your first position. Let's have a look at targets, because I get asked this a lot as well. So I just want to put a box around this first target, because this is the level where the first target is there. Now we saw when we came to our second target that or our second trade, that the first target on the second trade, sorry, I need to do it on that bar, was at this level here. So the question being is, should you keep your target on your second trade as identified by the second trade, or should you adjust it to be the target of your first trade, in other words back up to that level. Well, that's a preference up to you, and it really depends on how confident you are on the trade. If you're confident that the market is going to go up to the first target, well then you can adjust your trade management strategies on your second position to then have your target as the same as the first. But that is really a decision up to you on how confident you feel about your position. So that would have meant that we'd have had a plus 3.4R profit on top of the plus 4.1R. Do you remember there's the 4.1R from the first trade? But even let's assume you came out at the lower target on your second one, you'll have still had plus 4.1R there and another plus 2R there. So either way it would have been a good trade. So anyway, just to review, if you're ever considering pyramiding, in other words adding positions in the same direction as a trade you're already in, and again this would only be for advanced traders who are confident, the golden rule is when you come into your second position, always bring your stop loss on your first position to at least break even. Then if you wish, you can consider using the target on your first position to then manage the trade on your second position. So that's a good example of a couple of standard and automatic MTPredictor trade setups here on, this was the 3-minute NQ from yesterday, where we had a lovely TS3 buy setup here and coming out at pretty much the high of the day for a lovely 4.1R, then had a lovely second position to pyramid as well. So overall a very good day for the standard and automatic traders using MTPredictor. And this is the MTPredictor RT add-ons for NinjaTrader. This is NinjaTrader 7, a platform we very much like working with because it gives us all the tools that allow us to do these setups on the charts, and it also allows us to have our trade module, which we have here, that can allow us to place the trades and manage them accordingly as well. So we very much like working with NinjaTrader and the capabilities that allows us to add into our MTPredictor add-ons into this particular platform.